Hey, it's Stargirl.thepracticalwitch. Welcome to another one of my pick a card readings. Today we're going to figure out how successful will you be in this life and how will you become successful. So before we get started, I need you to pick one of the 6 groups. This is group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, group 6. Once you've picked a group, you can fast forward to the timestamp I provide down below to see your results. Alright then, let's get started. Group number 1. Let's see how successful you will be in this life and how you will become successful. So we have the Fool, we have the 10 of Cups, we have Fairness, Balance, Sensuality, and Bison. Alright, so if you picked number 1, you are one lucky person. The Fool obtains success and wealth through blind, dumb luck. And what I mean by that is being at the right place at the right time, happening to know the right people, not necessarily earning success from hard, dedicated work or from planning, but just because the world worked in your favor and you were in the right place at the right time and you have now acquired overnight success. That is how you will earn your success, and it will be substantial success because as you can see here, we also have the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups represents emotion. So you have 10 cups that are filled. You have a rainbow, and just look at the imagery because angels like to communicate with images. So you have, not only do you have this dumb luck and you get material success and great wealth, you're also going to be happy, carefree, and living your dream life. If you picked group number 1, congratulations. If you're worried about the future, you shouldn't be. Now, let me explain something. This realm that we operate on, this dimension we operate on, runs by the law of attraction. And a lot of us into spirituality have realized this. Like attracts like. So if you're vibrating on a grateful, happy level, you will attract wealth and success. Now, everyone thinks the Fool is lucky. The Fool has beginner's luck. The Fool doesn't know what he's doing. He's just walking around with blind optimism and the world is his oyster and everyone's looking at him like he doesn't deserve it. He's not working hard. He's just, going through life with blind optimism. What is wrong with him? Why him? And it's not because the Fool is lucky, but because he has a blind optimism about the world. He thinks the world is his oyster. He sees the world as anything goes. He sees the world in this positive light. And because of that, he attracts dumb luck and wealth. And that is how you will attract wealth. And that is how you will gain your substantial success. A lot of the time, the Fool means, something to do with fame or the arts. And I'm not saying you're going to be as famous as Brad Pitt, but think about the rise of social media nowadays. I'm almost seeing this could be some kind of social media success, maybe a little bit of a following on YouTube, Instagram, really anything. I'm definitely seeing it's something creative. It's not your typical 9 to 5 because Cups is creativity and the Fool, he's always traveling. He's not going to sit down behind a desk and work his life away. No, he's on to the adventure. So what I'm seeing by this is you could be a Sagittarius because Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Sagittariuses are the luckiest sign in the zodiac. And do you want to know why they're the luckiest sign in the zodiac? It is because they have blind optimism. Sagittarians are good-natured, optimistic people, and they wish no ill will on anyone. Well, generally. I'm generalizing, guys, so bear with me. But if you notice, everything about Sagittarius is blind optimism, right? And because of this, Sagittarius attracts good luck because of the law of attraction. Now, I'm also seeing that you could be a Libra. And the reason why I believe you could have Libra in your Sun, Moon, or Rising is because we have the fairness, balance, and sensuality. And Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is what? Sensuality. Venus is sexy. And you could be a Scorpio. You could be a Virgo. So I'll name off more zodiac signs if I pick it up from the guides. But what I'm seeing is your looks or your sensuality or your charisma will have a little something to do with your success. I think it's because of your general attitude, that cheery, the world is my oyster, the happy vibes attitude. That vibe is contagious, and people want to help you out, and people want to be around you. So it's almost like you're charming without knowing you're charming. You're just being yourself, and people are addicted to your magnetic energy. And that's part of the reason you gain success, is like knowing the right people, just being you. Just being you gives you success. And before you're like, oh, well, no, I'm not charming, I suck. And I know I get a lot of people in the comments when, you know, they pick a card and I tell them nice things about themselves. They're like, no, that's not me, I suck. And you know what? If you're someone who says that, that just says how much optimism you used to have before you let the world get you down. So the most bitter people were once the most optimistic, and the reason why they're so bitter is because they had the highest hopes and they were let down. So if you're one of those people that are like, no, I'm not interesting, I'm not magnetic, you are not being the highest version of yourself, because you're probably hurt by the world. The world probably let you down on some way, and you need to get back to your original way of thinking. You need to get back to who you were as a younger person or a child, because that is ultimately what's going to get you success. Not thinking bad about yourself, not being negative about yourself, right? And what else am I picking up? Another thing about the Fool is he wants to have a bunch of life experience. He's not really about getting money, 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 money. He's more like, I want to experience things. I just want the money to travel and live life to the fullest. I don't care about money itself. I just want the freedom to do things. And when they're able to do things, they're grateful. The Fool is just this, you know, even though he's like easy to make fun of, like a Sagittarius, he's optimistic and he wants experiences and he's adventureful. I don't know if that's the word. And the Bison recognize the riches of the past and abundance of the present. This is talking about being grateful. So if you pick this card, you have the chance to be very successful, but you have to practice gratitude. Be happy for every little penny you get. Be grateful. Don't live in poverty consciousness. You are naturally like this. Be like, I'm so happy I have this experience or this opportunity. See life with rose-colored lenses like you originally were before you let the world turn you bitter. Be grateful for everything you have instead of always thinking, I don't have enough, because your natural optimism, your natural sensuality, who you are as a person, being charming without even realizing you're being charming, because that's what I'm picking up on. You're someone who is charming and don't even, I'm going to turn this light a little like this so it doesn't glare. You don't even realize how charming you can be. It's just who you are. You're not even trying. And this is what's going to get you success. This is what's going to get you fame, because you have a lot of potential to do it. Not necessarily by hard work, but by using your charisma and who you are, and you know, that sensuality that you don't even realize you have, which just makes it better. You're a charmer. Get back to that positive, the world is my oyster attitude, and the world will be your oyster. If you picked number 1, I wouldn't be surprised if someday you got some social media fame, some kind of fame in regards to just being you. Not even, you know, remedial work, but just by being you. That is how you will get your success, and by having that positive, grateful attitude. Okay, that one is probably going to be the longest one. I rambled on, and I just relate to it a lot, though. But I'm going to move on to group number 2. We have the 5 of Swords, we have the Sun, We have the Shadow Queen, Divine Guidance, and Whale. Through music, you reclaim life's magic and go strong in body and soul. Okay, so we have to keep in mind, group number 2, that this is a general reading. So if I'm getting a few different messages, bear with me. One message might be for you, one might be for someone else. I just want to make sure I get everybody who is watching, so it speaks a little bit to everyone. However, it is a general reading, so sometimes I can't do that. But the first message I'm getting is that you will be someone who spreads truth on injustice. So we have the sun. And the sun lights up things that are dark. The sun brings light to the shadows, right? And with the 5 of Swords, this almost makes me think you're going to be a social justice warrior. So you might help put criminals in jail. You might help find criminals. You might help. But this doesn't just have to be about, you know, finding the bad guys and catching them, which is the vibe I'm getting. It's almost, it could be like you're a therapist or a counselor and you help people face their shadow side, as we get from the Shadow Queen, and that's our subconscious. We have a shadow self, which is the worst parts of ourselves that we hide deep in our subconscious because we don't want to face that, you know, there's an awful side to us. There's an awful side to everybody, okay? And you might be a therapist, a counselor, a psychiatrist, a psychologist who sheds light on people's shadow side, helps them face their shadow side and come to terms with it so they can realize, yeah, this is my shadow side, this is my bad side, and help them work through it by shining light on it. Because what's the worst thing we can do if you're someone into spirituality is completely ignore your shadow side, pretend it doesn't exist. You know why? Because it festers, and you're going to be someone who helps people realize their shadow side and get over it. And, you know, like the same thing could be said about, you know, finding the bad guys in social justice careers. And I'm almost seeing that, you know, if this message is specifically for you and you're thinking about going into one of those careers, that it will be fulfilling for you, because this is what you were meant to do. As we get from divine guidance, this is your truest soul's purpose. And I'm not seeing that it will be necessarily monetarily successful. Like, you'll have enough to be comfortable and to live your life. But I'm almost seeing you'll be more successful in the way where you're doing your truest soul's purpose. Therefore, you will be provided for enough to live a comfortable, good life. Not a lavish life, but a comfortable, good life. And with this, again, we dig deep into diving into the subconscious, because subconscious is represented by the ocean. So you'll be digging deep into the dark side of society and people. Now, the second message that I'm getting is, if you picked group number 2, is that you're somebody who will do anything to be on top. You will do anything to be successful. You will do anything to prove your worth. And that's probably because, you know, you didn't get the validation you needed as a kid, or, you know, maybe you got really made fun of as a kid, or you didn't feel like you got the attention you deserve, or you feel like your self-worth is reliant on doing well in the world. Your whole self-worth, you think no one's gonna love me unless I'm successful. No one's gonna love me unless I have a bunch of money. And it's almost like you're so dead set on success, not for yourself, but because you want the approval of others. And I know that's hard to admit to ourselves, and I get that. And some of you might be watching this and get mad at me, but really think about it. Like, everybody has a bad side. It's okay to want these things. It doesn't make you a bad person. Okay, it's okay to admit the shadow side of yourself. And with this, I'm almost getting like, you need to do good, not to prove anything to yourself. Well, maybe it is to, like, because you felt worthless all your life, or felt like, you know, you weren't worthy of anything unless you were doing something great. Maybe it was because of the people around you. But I'm definitely seeing you would do anything, even if it meant, you know, ruining relationships, screwing people over, if it meant losing people, if it meant doing things not such a morally right way. You don't care as long as you get success. And, you know, with the Whale, we see through music, you reclaim life's magic and grow strong in body and soul. This might be the literal meaning, like you might try to use music to get ahead or some kind of art form to be famous and rich. Or it could mean, you know, more of the metaphorical meaning where you want to be the biggest fish in the sea. You see how the whale is like the biggest fish? You want to be the big fish in the pond because you have something to prove. And I'm almost getting that your life path number is probably, and I'll name them out, is your life path is probably a 7, and it's because you are battling between the material number of 4, the material plane of 4, and the holy number of 3. So you are constantly torn between what you want spiritually and what you want materially. So even when you get all of this success and you acquire it, and you will because you're so persistent and you would do anything, which I'm seeing if you're that person, you will be so spiritually unfulfilled. You will realize you spent all your life trying to please other people by proving something, and still realizing that you're unhappy because those people don't care about you any other way. If they didn't love you when you were nothing, they're not going to all of a sudden truly love you when you're something, and you're going to realize that, and you'll be spiritually bankrupt by the way you treated other people. And you might have all the material success in the world if this is the message for you, or but you'll be spiritually bankrupt. And that's why I think you're a life path 7, because you will always have the need for the material success of 4, but the spiritual need of 3. Now, you could also be a life path 11, the master number 11. And the reason why I think that is because 11s are the most hurt. They're the most intuitive, empathetic. They're a master number. They're practically psychic. So when people hurt them, they hold on to that hurt, and then they feel like they have something to prove. Like if they don't feel loved, they feel like they have something to prove, and they're artists. They normally are people who are famous. I believe Edgar Allan Poe had that life path 11. Now you could also be a life path 2. I'm also seeing that you could be a life path 5. You could also be a Leo. You could be a Scorpio. You could be a Gemini. And by the way, sun, moon, or rising. You could be a Capricorn. And that's all I'm getting right now, sun, moon, or rising. All right, now we're going to move on from this one. All right, group number 3. Let's see how you will be successful and how much you'll be successful. So we have Temperance, the 7 of Pentacles, Sun, Dancer, Organization, and Mouse. All right, guys, so I want you to let me say the whole message before you click out after I say this, because it might be disappointing. But with the 7 of Pentacles, I can see that money-wise, you won't be very lavish. But don't get upset and offended. Just hear me out. The 7 of Pentacles talks about not being compensated enough for your work. So you will be putting in a lot of hard work, a lot of meaningful work, but you're just not getting paid enough. And nowadays, nobody seems to be getting paid enough, right? This also talks about if you do have money, it's probably going to be later in life because you saved, you were diligent about working, you were very hardworking, you were very reliable, you were very dependable, and you kept working and saving until older age when you were finally able to save enough money so you could live the lifestyle you want. So money-wise, I'm not going to lie to you, if you picked group number 3, it's not fantastic. However, we have the Temperance card. So this talks about social work, work for humanity. So you see how this person is an angel? That is what you are, is a guardian angel. So how you're going to attain your money is actually due to the service you give to humanity. So like underappreciated jobs that do the most, but don't get compensated enough. So a teacher, a counselor, a social worker, someone who is doing things for the charity, someone who is doing things for the betterment of humanity. Any kind of, job you get with liberal arts or helping others, like being in the service of others, and you're just not getting paid enough because what? This society takes you all for granted. When you are the people society should reward the most. And even though you won't be cash-wise necessarily as fulfilled as you would like to be with the sun dancers, joyful activity, celebration of life, abundance, you are going to be so happy and fulfilled emotionally that how much money you have in your bank account isn't going to matter, because you'll be happier than some millionaires and billionaires out there, because you will be doing something that's truly fulfilling to your soul. And people, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It really doesn't. It's your mindset. You're one of those people who will be able to sleep well at night, knowing that you're doing something for the betterment of the world, knowing you're doing something for the betterment of humanity, and you will be very pleased with yourself, and you will live a very happy, fulfilled, emotional life, even though you won't have a ton of money. Now, keep in mind, if you're someone who wants a ton of money, you can always change your future. This is just what I'm getting right now, but I really feel like you would be the happiest if you pursue something that is to the service of others, because you are a guardian angel in this life. You're not meant to live a materially abundant life like the Life Path 8, who is here on this earth to experience material abundance. You probably already live that life, or that's probably your next lesson in your next life. But in this life, you're meant to be an angel to help humanity, and not necessarily bask in the material world, which at the end of the day, I mean, yes, it's nice to have money. Yes, it grants you freedom. But if your mindset isn't right, who cares if you have that money or not? And then we have organization. So I'm almost seeing like maybe you're someone who did it by the books. You went to school, now you have a lot of student debt. Now you have to pay off that student debt, and now you just aren't making enough money to pay off that student debt and live well. Which is really a shame, because you're one of those good people in the world that are really working to make a difference, or you will be if you picked group number 3. I'm also seeing that you will acquire wealth. Like, you will eventually acquire the wealth you want to be able to do more things and live lavishly. But like I said, it'll be from diligent saving. It'll be from diligent hard work. And then we have the mouse. Be persistent and incisive, and all obstacles will be overcome. It'll be due to your hard work. And you see how the mouse is very quiet. People underappreciate the mouse. But they're, you know, like it says here, like, your hard work is just underappreciated. And I know it's hard to believe, oh, if I'm not going to be making enough money, how will I be happy? But you will. You really will, because your highest soul's purpose shouldn't be based on money. If you're following your highest soul's purpose, if you pick group number 3, you will be happy emotionally. You will be happy and be so fulfilled, you won't even care. Now, I'm getting the feeling that you're probably a Cancer in your sun, moon, or rising. You're probably a Pisces in your sun, moon, or rising. You're probably a Taurus in your sun, moon, or rising. An Aquarius in your sun, moon, or rising. That's all I'm really picking up on now, but please don't let the astrological signs discourage you. It's just the energy I'm feeling. I'm also seeing that you're probably someone who is a Life Path 6, because Life Path 6 are, or master number 33, they typically do things for the betterment of humanity. They're in the service of others. Their love for others is what they generally navigate their career based on. I'm also seeing you could possibly be a Life Path master number 11, a Life Path 9, an older soul who's already lived the abundance of a Life Path 8, and now you're here for the betterment of humanity, not necessarily the material gains. And we see a lot of purple and blues, because spirit guides like to communicate with colors, not just tarot and numerology. And this is the higher frequency colors. This is the chakra colors that are on the higher end of the spectrum, the throat, the crown chakra. So this tells me you're a more developed soul. You're a more caring soul. You don't vibrate on the lower chakras like the stomach and the root chakra. That's more about the material plane. You're more on the spiritual plane, which is why in your life you may choose to help the betterment of humanity rather than get material gain. All right, I'm going to move on from that because that's all I'm really picking up. Group number 4, let's see how successful you will be in this life and how you will gain your success. So we have the Two of Wands, the Moon, the Hawk Prince, Spirit Communication, paying attention. We have Grace, and we have the Wild Boar. Okay, so what I'm seeing by this is you, people who picked group number 4, you really have 2 options in your life. One, you can either be successful because you are following your own path and you're not following the expectations of other people, or 2, you care too much what other people think and you're trying to live in the expectations of what your friends, family, and society have of you, and because of that you are not successful because you're not happy because you're a creative person. Now I can tell from the Moon that you're a little bit of a quirky person, you're a creative person, you're an intuitive person, you're someone who's a little different than others. And when we have the Wild Boar, whatever tradition or others expect of you, only to yourself be true. So you do things a little differently. You think a little differently. Maybe you don't fit into the regular society of a 9-to-5 job. Maybe you don't want to fit into the normal society of going to work 40 hours a week and working for somebody else and being someone else's you know what. You're definitely a visionary. You're definitely an artist. And an artist doesn't necessarily have to mean, you know, painter, singer. It could just mean you're an entrepreneur. And, you know, entrepreneurs are generally people who are a little different from the rest. They think a little different. Other people might call them a little weird, a little quirky, a little kind of a misfit, but that's why they're entrepreneurs, because they're thinking on another wavelength. They're doing things on another wavelength. They're revolutionaries. They're doing things and thinking ways that no one else has thought before. This is the card of a leader, a revolutionary, someone who's paving a new path that no one else has explored. So you can either conform to the expectations other people have of you and fail because you are not meant to be like other people. Or you can embrace your creativity. You can embrace who you truly are and have your own business and be very successful doing it. You just have to embrace the fact that you will never fit in with other people. You are not like other people. Don't try to fit into other people. Why would you want to limit yourself like that? Why would you want to work like everyone else 9 to 5 and be unhappy? Why? When you're so different. That difference isn't a curse. That difference is a blessing, because you will do something that no one else has done before that people will love. People love new and different things. And I'm also seeing that with Grace. Okay, so we have people dancing around here. I'm almost getting with Grace, it's self-expression, because they're dancing, they're expressing themselves. You will be successful if you express your truest, most creative side of yourself and you stop trying to fit in with other people. With the Moon, I'm almost seeing that you're very intuitive, and the Hawk Prince, Spirit Communication, paying attention. You could be a psychic. You know, you could be doing what I'm doing. You're someone who's very intuitive. I almost see you just doing something off the wall and different, something that I can't even think of, something that is unique to you. I have a feeling that you could be let's see. Wow, I'm getting a lot of Life Path 11, and the reason why I'm getting a lot of Life Path 11 is because a lot of you guys are drawn to my pick a card readings. I get a lot of you asking for private readings because a lot of you are wounded healers and you're very lost in master numbers. Life Path 11s, they come with a lot of great psychic, intuitive, amazing gifts, but they also come with a lot of baggage. So just due to how different you are, I say a Life Path 11, a Life Path 2 for sure. I'm getting multiple signs of a Life Path 2. You could be a Scorpio. You could be a Pisces. You could be an Aries. You could be a Virgo, a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. An Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And once again, kind of like the last group, we're getting a lot of blues and purples, which means that you're operating on a higher plane of existence. You're probably a starseed or an indigo crystal rainbow child, although I'm getting indigo child because I'm seeing you're rebellious. You march to the beat of your own drum, as I'm getting from the purple and blue, because angels like to communicate with colors and numbers, not just the tarot cards, and I like to look at that. And that tells me you're operating from a higher level of consciousness. So you're not going to be like everyone else. You are going to likely make your fortune being an entrepreneur. But like I said, if you picked group number 4, you have 2 paths: conform and fail, or be yourself and start believing in yourself and marching to the beat of your own drum and make your own business, and that is how you're going to make your fortune. And before you're like, what, me make my own business? I could never do that. Stop being negative. I thought that as well. A lot of people are stuck in this fear-based thinking where we think, oh, I can't do that. That's what other people do, not me. If I can do it, you can do it. And I'm getting the feeling like you're an indigo child. Stop doubting yourself. Follow your own unique drum. And I see you being an entrepreneur who does very well, but you have two choices: self-doubt, conformity, or going for it and following yourself and being true to yourself. All right. All right, group number 5. Let's see how successful you will be and how you will become successful. So we have the 5 of Pentacles, the Hermit, the Hungry Ghost, Glamour, and Raven. Okay, so this is really interesting. I'm just gonna get the immediate impression that I'm picking up. So I feel like you're going to try to pursue wealth in something that has to do with your looks or being famous or showing off your body or showing off your pretty face. Maybe something to do with social media, exotic dancing, something to do with entertainment. And I feel like it will come from a deep-seated insecurity you have inside of yourself. And I know what I say, I know people don't like to hear things that they don't want to hear. I get that. And I know some of you might get angry when I say this, but I feel like as a Sagittarius and a tarot card reader, it is my duty to tell you the absolute truth, even if it hurts. And maybe even if you don't agree with it right now, you might agree with it when you have some time to think and really reflect on yourself. So the 5 of Pentacles talks about insecurity, not feeling good enough, always feeling like you have to prove your worth as a person. And then we have Glamour. Into this mirror, I now see the realms of possibility. I almost feel like you're going to be trying to pursue wealth, Riviera, success through fame, and you're going to use a lot of your looks or sex appeal to get there. And there's nothing wrong with it. In today's society, a lot of people do that. I mean, look at the society we live in with advertisement, YouTube, Instagram, whatever. It's a lot about the way you look and your sex appeal and your sexuality, right? And I feel like you're going to try to go about it the wrong way by doing that. And then we have the Hungry Ghost, obsession, scarcity, consciousness, attachment. But I feel like your insecurity, like even though you might be beautiful on the outside, even though you might have it looks-wise, your inside might not be ready. Your inside doesn't believe you deserve it. Your inside feels insecure. So even when you're pursuing it, and you might have all the charisma, all the looks to get it, because of the law of attraction, because you're living that insecure, I don't deserve it, even if you don't realize it consciously, subconsciously, if you're pursuing something based on solely the way you look and you feel like you have no wealth as a person besides the way you look, subconsciously it's because you're not secure in yourself. You have insecurities, and those insecurities you like to push down and strut like I'm beautiful and really just base everything off of your looks. They manifest in the physical world because, like I said before, this realm of this dimension of reality we live in runs by the law of attraction. So your subconscious mind is what attracts things into your conscious life. And if your subconscious mind feels like you're not worth anything besides the way you look, that's insecurity in your subconscious. And that's I don't deserve anything, right? I have to be beautiful to deserve anything. And because of that, you don't attract success because of that subconscious insecurity you have that's keeping you from getting success, and you're going about it all the wrong way. It's almost like you think you're not worth anything besides the way you look. And you know, I'm just getting a lot of darkness. Like the raven, listen to your intuition to receive a message from the world of spirit and the hungry ghost. Like you just have something lurking in your subconscious that's really keeping you from manifesting success. I'm not saying you can't be successful. I'm not saying that at all. But I truly believe if you picked group number 5, have I been saying 6? If you picked group number 5, there's something in your subconscious keeping you from manifesting wealth, and you really need to do some shadow work and look at your shadow side and think about why you feel the way you do, what you're insecure about, and facing the dark side of yourself you don't want to face, so you can fix those insecurities that are lingering in your subconscious, keeping you from manifesting wealth into your life. With the Hermit, though, I feel like this is part of your spiritual journey. I feel like it's part of your spiritual journey to go through this, because people who have been through the worst, people who are the most messed up inside, people who come from this kind of insecurity, if they grow correctly, they turn out to be some of the best therapists. They turn out to be some of the best counselors. They turn out to be some of the best teachers, because they know what it feels like to be that low. They know what it feels like to vibrate at that level. Some people go about this world, lucky them, they had a healthy upbringing, they have a healthy self-esteem now. You're probably not one of those lucky people. But guess what? If you grow the right way and you're on the right life path, your experience will help others tremendously, especially in older age. I'm almost seeing you'll get into the partying scene a lot, the darker scene of things a lot. I'm almost seeing, like, if you do get any success, it'll be from the way you look. I'm almost seeing you're going to be very bad with money. You might squander anything you make. And I'm not trying to insult you. Like, every card I can relate to. I think every card some people can kind of relate to. But if you pick this one, it's specific to you. It's the major theme in your life. And I feel like it won't be till older age where you won't necessarily have the wealth of, I think you'll probably run into like extreme wealth at one point in your life, but it won't last. You'll squander it. Something will happen to it. And I'm not saying you'll be destitute, but I think at the end of your life, most of your success will come from your experiences. Most of your success will come from your story, making sure other people don't go the same route as you, or maybe think the same way you did. And you'll lead people, and you might be peaceful in your soul. So you might not materially have had a lot. You might have had a spurt where you do really well, but most of your wealth will come from your experience of life. I'm almost seeing, you know, I'm just getting a lot of sadness from this. A lot of sadness, a lot of going through a lot of having to go through a lot. Life isn't, you know, life has been really hard for you. Life might be hard for you. It might not be your fault. Something might have happened to you when you were a kid. You might have been born with depression or a lot of burden on your shoulders. You might be someone who's highly intuitive or an empath, so you have a lot of burden, and because of that burden, because you feel so much, you don't attract the best in your life, and I feel for you. But I honestly think you can fix this if you realize your self-worth, how your worth isn't completely reliant on your social media following, how you realize your life isn't completely reliant on the way you look, how you realize you have such a deep, wise soul. Stop masking it with shallow things. Stop masking it with the way you look or your persona on social media. Really embrace that wisdom, that old soul you have, because that is ultimately what is going to lead you to success. You have a lot of shadow work you need to do. I'm getting that from the Raven and the Hungry Ghost. You have a lot of shadow work to do on yourself. If you pick this card, I'm really sorry. I'm seeing that you could be a life path 6. Life path 6 are very prone to this. I vibrate on a life path 6, so I understand. You have a need for adoration and to be adored, but you're so inside, you're not okay. You don't adore yourself, so why would you attract that in your life? I'm seeing you could be a life path 9. I'm also seeing that you could be a Virgo or a Taurus. Maybe a Libra. Capricorn. That's all I'm getting right now. All right, I'm gonna move on from this one. All right, group number 6. Let's see how successful you will be in this life and how you will gain your success. So we have the 8 of Wands, the Knight of Cups, the Swan King, Strength, and Fox. Okay, so if you pick this group, this is the feeling I'm picking up. This is a general reading, but please excuse me. I'm almost seeing that you're very attractive. And the reason why I know this is because we have the Knight of Cups, we have the Swan Queen, what are swans, beauty. We have Fox, foxy. We have the 8 of Wands, love arrows. So you're someone who's very attractive physically, or might be attractive in your charisma or your swag, or, you know, whatever vibe. Like, you know how some people, even if they're not attractive physically, there's something about them that's attractive, like the way they carry themselves. Just something about you is attractive. And I feel like you are going to gain your success largely due to that attractive quality you have. I'm almost seeing, if you pick this card, you're going to, first of all, you're going to be successful. You're going to live a very comfortable life. You're going to have money to do things, experience the world, and it's almost, I'm not going to say it's handed to you because of the way you look or your sexy vibe, but it has a large part to do with it. That doesn't mean you're not, you know, full as a person. That doesn't mean you're not hardworking. I'm just saying that you were blessed with this certain charm, like, because you know with your birth chart it says whether or not you're charming or attractive to the opposite sex, or if you have that sexy charisma. In your birth chart it probably says that. Somebody is going to marry you, someone's going to have a huge crush on you, so people are going to be very drawn to you and attracted to you, and that's how you're going to gain your success. You're going to marry someone rich, someone who is very attracted to you, or your looks is going to help you get ahead in life. And you know what, if you pick this, don't be mad, because guess what? Unfortunately, let's be real for a second. The world does run based on the way you look. A lot of people's success is due to the way they look with the rise of social media, and that's just how the world works, and it sucks, and it's not right. But this is the matrix we live in, and it's not fair, but you were blessed. I'm almost seeing with a Knight of Cups, this is going to be coming from a creative outlet. There's a lot of blue in your spread because angels like to communicate with numbers and colors, not just the tarot. And generally people with a blue aura or a light blue aura, which I'm picking up you have, are generating from the throat chakra. And people who have an aura generating from their throat chakra are very talented speakers, hence the charisma, hence the sexuality, because it's the way you talk, it's your charm, it's your charisma. They also are very talented singers, which the Knight of Cups also says as well. So this could be singer, actor, media, some kind of anything like that. And the 8 of Wands generally talks about social media. So it could be like you do a social media following, and nowadays every business relies on social media. But I'm almost seeing like, you know, it all has something to do with arts, not a 9-to-5 job, nothing like that. It's going to have to do with the way you look, the way you talk, media, and, you know, a high self-esteem. That's what I'm getting from Strength. Like, you sort of hold yourself high. I'm feeling like you could be let's see. So you're really attractive, so you could be a Pisces, Virgo, Libra, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. That's all I'm getting right now. I'm trying to think on the spot so there's not a lot of long pauses, but I'm trying to pick up what Spirit is telling me. You could be a life path 4, because a life path 4 is about material success. They're the general wife-husband material, so I'm getting that like your partner will be very successful, and that's where you'll get most of your monetary success. But let's see. A life path 7. A life path 8. Did I say Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising? Yes, I did, because it's ruled by Venus. And that's all I'm getting for now. But that's pretty much your life path if you picked this one. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed my pick a card reading. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!